Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Frankie B, and I am right back into the show and tell. Well, hey, I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is a major update. I got a brand new camera. It's a Logitech C920X HD Pro webcam. Say that 5 times. Well, let's just say I was spurred on from an incident that happened a few weeks ago while I was on a YouTube show. And for the longest time, the videos that you guys are seeing, I did most of them all on my iPhone. You know, I thought the quality was good, somewhat a little iffy sometimes, but I said, all right, this is fine, it works. My mind as a freelance, as a commercial illustrator, has always been about like, you don't. What's the old saying? Don't try to reinvent the wheel, that kind of thing mentality, where sometimes, if you don't need something that's excess, then just keep with what you got until eventually something happens that forces you to sort of rethink your options. And that's what happened. I was on this particular show doing a draw stream, and all of a sudden my iPhone started just clicking off. I started getting these weird messages, and it just kept, I don't know if it's StreamYard. I've been seeing some other people going through some stuff doing the StreamYard and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe it was something, but it kept kicking me off the show. I felt really bad because of the incident. The hosts, well, they were very gracious. They were very just amazing about the whole incident. But I promised them that I was going to come back. And one of the promises I made was I said, look, I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to pull the trigger and I'm going to get me a camera that actually functions, that does the job and stuff, and not be beholden to some software issues like what was on my iPhone. So with that said, I went on and did it. So I got me one, and this is my first day. I'm trying it. I'm a little nervous because I don't know how it's going to be. I've been going through various recording programs that I have on my Mac. I'm actually recording this through my QuickTime player, so I'm just going to see how that goes. So with that said, let's get to the artwork. That's what you want to see. Now, I like to just give a recap for anybody who might be new. I don't consider myself a YouTube personality. I'm an artist who's been in the industry working in the art industry for over 30 something years. Actually 30 something, because I'm past the 30-year mark. And so for me, I look at the art industry instead of like one aspect, say like comic books. Comic books is one aspect, toys is one aspect, magazine art is one aspect, advertising is one aspect, and so on and so forth. So when I did my channel, I think in my mind, and as I continue to think in my mind, is that this is more of a portfolio. I feel that as every artist out there, we all have our little itch and a need to want to showcase what we do to people, and if people happen to dig it, they'll come on over and look at it. If they don't, then they'll look at it and keep on stepping and find something else that they enjoy. And I like that kind of mentality, because I think that's the purest form of what art is, and that is what creativity is. Singers want to sing. You see a singer out there singing on the street, or a musician wants to play. You see a musician out on the street, they're just playing. They're playing for people to be able to hear what they're doing, and then those people can have whatever experience they want to have by embracing that or not embracing it. So with that said, I've dug into my portfolio again, and this time this is really all me, really. These are projects that I worked on in the past. Some of them will be dated. I like to date my work, but some of them, it looks like I did not date them. So who can tell what was going on through my mind at that point? This piece right here was a pinup that I did. I was going to be part of an anthology that was going to be crowdfunded, and it was called Kaiju Gods. A lot of talented people were going to be on it, and the cover was like amazing. I think Patrick Blaine did the cover, on one of the covers, but it was going to be phenomenal. Unfortunately, it did not make it didn't make the finish line, and I had a story in it. I forgot how many pages. I want to say 10 to maybe 12 pages, full color. I actually lettered my artwork. Ooh, I am not a letterer. But it's funny because most people like it because I treated my lettering like I treat my special effects, sound effects, like It's total indie underground grunge kind of way. So a lot of people do like it. I even joked about the fact of maybe getting a letter to redo it. And they were like, no, just do it because Frank, you did it so unique and different. So anyway, maybe one day, those pages will see the light of day. Maybe in something. Who knows? Maybe in Kaijus and Cowboys, it could be like a little supplement issue. But anyway, in the story, I had characters who would transform, who were humans who could transform into giant kaijus. And this, mind you, this was back in 2017. So there's no ripping of Kaiju 8. I think I only got one issue of Kaiju 8, but I'm assuming that he can grow to giant size. But there's been other characters that can grow to giant. Devil Man can grow to giant size. So anyway, I've always wanted to do the classic Hulk scene where you see the multiple images and stuff of him transforming. And so this scene was super detailed, and I love it. It's just a shame when I look at some of these things. As an artist, I truly want to see everything I do come over the finish line. That's for the paid work, and that's also for the work I just, whatever. If I happen to do those rare occasion projects that don't pay, then yeah, I want to see it just go over the finish line to see somewhere somehow. But with that said, that didn't happen for this one. So, oh, by the way, a lot of these are on Canson Concept Sketch page. The reason behind this is that, as a commercial illustrator, one of the things is about time and money. And the fact was that trying to cut out pieces of paper, Bristol and stuff, what I learned earlier in my career, that just any amount of time that was eaten up took away that precious time for the deadline. Especially when I was much younger, when I was chasing a lot of different jobs. I mean, I was out there hunting hard. That's why when I see people who are going hard now, I'm like, man, I'm going to be turning 52 this year, and I did all that stuff before. I was hunting the gigs. I was out there, no sleep, no rest, whatever, just trying to chase that dollar, trying to chase the next gig and stuff like that. So I had to find ways shortcuts that can get me to where I need to get to. And so these were one of the shortcuts, and also great write-offs too. It's great to get stuff like this because artists understand, especially if you're freelancers, you need them write-offs. All right. 2017. 2017 was an important year because I ended up doing. Again, it was one of those situations where I got contacted on Facebook, and this man, what was it? This person said they saw my work, and they were like, "Hey, man, really like it. Blah 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 blah. Do you think that you could do patch art, artwork for patches?" And I said, patches? I knew no idea. Had no idea that there was a community for custom patches. I mean, patches that you actually have Velcro on the back, you put it on. That there's actually a vast community of people. Morale, they call them morale patches, and then they have other just various different patches. So regardless of what, he said, hey, I think you'd be really good for it. So from that one patch maker, I ended up getting maybe, God, I don't want to brag about it, man, but goddamn, it was close to 20 clients, different clients, where I was doing various patches, art, paid. These are all paid gigs too, by the way, of various things they wanted me to draw, and this was one of them. This was the Ninja Turtles patches. I can see right here where I did a little bit of, I was trying to channel a little bit of the Eric Lawson, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, excuse me, Eric Lawson, Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman. You get a little bit of that in there, but then you get, I think I went a little bit more animated with that one. Yeah, the person was happy, and they made patches out of that. Okay. This was a concept that I was mulling around with this patch maker about maybe doing something where we'd work together and and do a project together where it would be called what was it called? Fight. It was called Fight, in which classic characters would be going against one another. So you would have, but they would be patches. So this would be like the Bride of Frankenstein versus the Bride of Chucky, and you could swap them out. So you could be going against somebody else or whatever. I got a ton of these, and the next round I'll show you the other stuff. There's a lot of these that I did. They were pretty fun. I had a lot of fun with these. Unfortunately, they didn't go anywhere. The project just sort of died. All right. Let's see. This right here was done I want to say it's 2017. It was by For Gallant Games, and they commissioned me to do. I feel like it might have been a cover, and these are pieces in the cover. And what I call these images like this, I would call as static images or assets. And assets are images where there's no background, so you can take these images out, and if you put them in Photoshop, you can do a layer, and you can add a background to the back, do them separate. That's little tricks that I learned when I was in advertising, where you want to swap out images and stuff like that. So if you ever see art where there's no background, that's usually called a static image. It's just static. It's just a pose or whatever. So there you go. All right. Hope you guys enjoying the new camera. It's not much detail. It's HD. This right here was really interesting. I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was trying to start a sort of T-shirt business or whatever. And so he contacted me, and we came up with some concepts. And this was one of the concepts I had. It was called Cthulhu Versus, in which it would be Cthulhu fighting various creatures. But I would make up most of the creatures, but they would be almost like, I wouldn't do King Kong, of course, because that's an IP by someone. But I would create my own kind of whatever creature, Yeti or something like that, something that's in the free market kind of stuff. But this is the first one, and yeah, it went out for a little bit, but nothing ever came of that one either. So I may maybe end up doing t-shirts through Teespring and bring this baby back and then see what people think. If people are really excited about it, then I may do a couple more Cthulhu Versus. And see, again, this is the level of what I like doing. The Frankie B sort of, I don't know what you call it, special effects or graffiti or whatever. I'm comfortable doing these because I treat them as artwork. They're artwork. All right. This piece right here was done, let's see, after Joshua Bernard. Joshua Bernard is this he's an amazing person. He's a collector, but I mean like collector on a level where like I have robots and stuff like that, but I don't consider myself hardcore. I really don't. My robots are dirty, dusty. They look like they've been to a battlefield. I don't clean them. I don't anything. I collect them. Many of them are still in boxes. But he has a lot of the old school super robots and shows and stuff like that, and I mean meticulous. I mean, I remember going to his house and it was packed and just like beautiful display case and stuff like that in glass of just these phenomenal figures in box. I didn't see the boxes. I think they were all out, but boy, it's just prestige. But so anyway, he had a character. I think this might have been his robot character or whatever, and I decided to have fun with it and draw my own weird kaiju and stuff. And you can always tell when I'm kind of just having fun with it because I just don't care. Like I did an insane amount of cross hatching on here. None of it makes sense. It's not supposed to. It's just me just letting myself relax and just have fun, and that's what happened. I had fun with this. I almost thought that was lecture tone, but that's actually cross hatching. All right. This was one of the first patch assignments. That person contacted me. The first patch assignments that I did, custom patches. Excuse me. This was a riff on the. It was like a war going on in Oz. I mean, there's been a ton of comic books and stuff that have that sort of premise. But anyway, they wanted to do patches, and this was Dorothy. I did Dorothy, and I did the Scarecrow, and then they came back and they said, "Well, Frank, we don't want the black boots. We want Ruby." Actually, they wanted to have a variant with the Ruby. So it was like they wanted the black boots, but then they wanted the Ruby. And so what I did was, I just did a simple tracing paper overlay. Back in the day, we would use acetate. Acetate's much more clearer, but tracing paper works the same too. It's no big deal. You can clean it up, even if there's any spots of grays or whatever. It may look a little dusty and dirty here, but when you put it in the program and in the software, you can clean it up even more, and it doesn't take that long. I think that's the mentality of me as a commercial illustrator, is that I'm more of the working, I'm more of the construction worker kind of thing, contractor, where somebody could look at something and it'd be like, oh my god, it's so dirty, so messy, and whatever. And the contractor's like, well, yeah, but guess what? That sucker's not falling down. That's sturdy or whatever. It's like I care about that. Yeah, I understand the beauty of artwork, but also I approach it from a more I can't use the term industrial kind of viewpoint, but more of just a viewpoint that yes, artwork is beautiful, but also I also believe in capitalism, and I believe that this artwork serves a purpose too. People need images on packages. People need images to design clothes. People need images on clothes. People need, maybe decals on this car. Those things also have their own form of beauty as well, even though they may be more commercially. They may be in the commercial realm. That's my thoughts. So here was a flying monkey. This was Toto patch. And these patches got made, and I'll probably do another video down the line where I showcase how they actually look and stuff. So I'll do my patches. Cause I did one before, but nothing like this, especially with this new camera. You guys gotta see it. Because even I'm still amazed by the level of the transformation from artwork to patches. All right, let's see if you guys can see this. This piece was part of a trading card set that, I don't know, never happened. Yeah, I feel like it never happened. That's one of the toughest things, I guess, for any artist out there, and I still get them too, where I've worked on a lot of projects that most likely will never see the light of day. And I'm just being honest, they may not, and that's what many artists have to recognize, that is that, yeah, you may get paid for something, but it could happen, or it could not, and you just gotta you move on to the next project, and hope that project itself will see some kind of light of day. So even though this didn't happen, this definitely happened. This is 2016 BotCon, and let's see if I can get the glare. This was a really fun card. This is I would say one of my favorite ones, because I got a chance once they told me what they wanted. I was like, I see the scene in my head, and it was pretty much Rodimus, not Rodimus Prime, Hot Rod, Grimlock fighting against the Shakticons, World Cup, and the Quinticons. Oh god, oh man, I'm gonna have to get back my Transformer card. I can't think of the name of the faces, the guys that turn around, who I love too. I can't. Quintessons. There you go. And when I got a chance, when they told me about that, I said, I'm going, I might as well say balls to walls. Say it really quick. That New England accent, muffle it up so I don't get striked. I don't even have monetary stuff on my show. Jeez, I'm not even monetized. That's okay too. It's a portfolio. But anyway, this is I put some Electrotone on this, and I don't have this Electrotone anymore. This is gone. So that's what makes this one even more rarer, because it has Electrotone on it, and plus it was actually printed up. So yeah. And usually when I did pieces like this, if somebody wanted it, I would just cut it down the line and just, here you go, mail it to you. But it's a printed piece similar to this. Like, I forgot what piece was on this side, but there was a piece on this side over here, but that got sold. This one right here was another card, Vice Grip, Squeeze Play, and Antagony. And the way I had to approach it, because again, when you think about trading cards are being reduced down to 2.5 by 3.5 ratio. So you have to be mindful of the stuff that you can put in there, because then it's like, oh my god, it's like too much stuff, and yeah, you don't want that. So with that said, I sort of used the concept of the devil on the shoulder, angel on the shoulder kind of mentality, and that he's clearly has beat the crap out of someone, and you can see their hands sort of in the foreground, and then this is actually smoke bellowing up and stuff. So 2014, yeah, and I put my little signature in there. So that got made. Yeah, let's see where we're at. And I keep looking. Talk about the gigabytes on this. So I'm at 18 minutes. I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit. This is BotCon. This is another BotCon one, and there's a free space over here. When you're a freelancer and stuff like that, you got to think about ways to save money. And for me, I learned that earlier on. Like, I was like, you know what? I can't be wasting tons of money drawing big scenes and stuff and just wasting paper. Is there a way in which I can save the money on what I'm doing, and then not, and hopefully be able to not put myself in the red. And so this was one tactic, one way, just drawing smaller and reduced. This piece right here was it was like a tribute kind of thing. I forgot the band. I want to say Queen, but it could have been Rush. I could be off too. But anyway, there was two different cards. One card was like all black, and all you see is their visors and their eyes peering out, all black. And the other one was the reveal, and this is the reveal. All right. speed it up a little bit. Getting to the, I think we're getting to the 20 mark. Yep. All right. Whew. This is some more patch artwork. As you can see, very different. These are different clients. So you had one client here, and this is another client right here. And you can see different styles. One person wanted me to draw this kind of 80s kind of style, and then this one was just a all hand done too. That was one of the things about it, was I tried to tell people who wanted me to do patches. I said I don't do vector art. I do, you know, hand drawn illustrations and stuff like that. And then, you know, if you want to vectorize, you can. But I feel like once I scan and TIFF and stuff, those lines are pretty strong. You should be able to work from them. So that's just my mentality. This was that, again, the Gallant Games. This is a character sheet. It's very important for me that when I talk to people, and say if somebody wants to commission me to do a comic book, and they say, oh, I want to do comic book, I ask them, I say, well, do you have your character sheet already? Do you have how the character looks? Because if you don't, and you're expecting me to somehow create how your character looks, then I want to be compensated for that. That's a separate job. You know, concepting how characters look, that in itself is something that takes time, and you got to do designs and stuff like that. That equals time, that equals money. So then once you get the characters done, and everybody's happy and the client's happy, now you can transition over into doing the actual, say, comic book pages or whatever it is that they want. This was fun. This was a card set. I worked on a lot of these. To this day, I do not know what his plans are for these. I don't know if he was just doing it for himself or whether he's going to do a crowdfunding. I lost touch with the person who commissioned me to do these. These were done. Oh, actually, I have a date. So back in 2015. So you're talking 7-year span. I did a ton of these back in 2015. And a lot of this had, he's very fortunate. A lot of these got a lot of electrotone in them. You can actually see some of the gradation being lost in here. And I don't know what kind of ink I might have used. That might have been like a Sharpie or something. You can always tell like the real dark ink, and then that might have been Sharpie. I don't mind. It looks almost like brown ink. Could have been brown ink too. Now I look at it, it might not even been a fade. Knowing me, I just was like, oh well, it'll darken up, whatever. That's the mentality of the commercial artists. It's like, just get it done. I had so much work going on. This was a Motif cover. This Motif is a local magazine, pretty much entertainment, you know, music, drinks, beer, that kind of stuff around the town. And I did a ton of covers for them and stuff. And this was one of the very first ones. This was Captain I think they called him Captain Motif. And he's drinking beer, and it was like a Halloween guy. So I want to feel like it was some kind of event that was going on Halloween. And yeah, and he actually has electrotone on him. This is electrotone that I don't have anymore. I did a ton of stuff for Cemetery Dance magazine. I don't know if people are really familiar with them. They do a lot of Stephen King stuff. This piece right here was for a Josh Malerman story called Matter. And Josh Malerman, I don't know if he did Bird Box, maybe, but anyway, this was I've done a few illustrations for a couple of stories of some of the various issues. These are really tough to get because their magazines, the magazine issues, kind of like they stop once they're sold out, and they're gone, and so they're out of print and stuff like that. So this was the artwork in one of them. I still got the other artwork from other stuff in other books. So, and excuse me, this was mixed media. Excuse me, this was Prismacolor pencil, and then standard, you know, ink, you know. Okay, now we're going, let's see where we're at. I had to go too far. 23. All right, let's see if we do this real quick. These are Kaijus and Colossal Kaiju Combat trading cards. Now, as you can see right here, really lightly, there was a template. I started doing a template for these because I was doing so many of them that I needed like to have a quick template. So I printed out a lot of these on the using my printer with the concept sketch pages, and they fit 8.5 by 11. And it's good, nice and sturdy too. And again, it's a way to speed up the process so that once I got it, I can just crank. This was done back in 2015, so this is 7 years old. And that was set 6. So we'll go through these real quick. Some more. I really want to try to stay a little nervous because hopefully the software is working the quick time. And there you go. Going through these a little quicker. I showed you a lot. I showed in my previous video, I had a ton of like the actual cards and stuff, so you guys can see how the cards look. Let's see, 2015. Yeah, yeah. There you go. I learned that trick when I was in it. We're doing work in animation. We're trying to find ways to sneak your name and different things so that people have to look for it. That also became like a big thing when I was working in Colossal Kaiju Combat. They brought that up a lot, where a lot of the fans were like really trying to find my name where I would sign them. So they made like little games like right there, my name's right there. Even sometimes I've lost where I put my names, and some of them I didn't even sign. So yeah, you just have fun with the base, you know. There you go. All right, let's see where we're at minute wise. We're at 25. Okay, maybe go like 26. Look at that skin on that. It's nice. Yep, there you go. 2015 right there. Right in the water, 2015 right there. And again, I'm such a classic traditional artist, so I try to find ways, like this character right here has his arms are vibrating. So how do you do that? Speed lines. Okay. And then finally, this piece right here. This piece was the local author who did a series of books called Waking the Marrow, which are about mermaids, these mermaid-like creatures. And so I really enjoyed the books and stuff. So and I met her a few times, and she was really cool. So I decided to just play around and just have fun, and decided to show a scene where this would be considered like almost like a keyframe scene, where Evie, the heroine, is fighting one of the marrows, and she has a blade in her hand, and she's just running out, and then you sort of see the face. So if I was to add color and whatever, I would knock that back. So you really see them pop up in the foreground, but you see this face sort of hovering in the back, whatever, and she's going after this mermaid-like creature. And it was a fun piece. It's good sometimes to sort of take a step back. That's why I'm doing this video, by the way. I'm currently in the art flow, working on the colors for Kaijus and Cowboys. Issue 4. Issue 4. We're building up a huge stockpile of stuff. We don't want to be like the creators that are late with our work. We want to be able to have it and know when we're going to put it out and stuff like that, way ahead of the curve instead of like way behind the curve. And so this gives me a chance to first put something else new up on my page. You guys have been fantastic. I can't believe I'm up to 381. Thank you so much. But it's kind of good, like if I can just sort of slide a video here and there a couple of weeks or so. And the show and tells have been proven to be really good, and it gives me a little break from doing the drawing videos too. I think I may in the future start doing a little bit more draw streams if the time is permitting. Like if people are able to do them more in the daytime, that kind of thing. So I can get some sleep. I love my sleep, man. I don't mess around. But with that said, hey, I just want to thank you for coming to my channel and commenting and just enjoying it and passing the word, sharing it if you so feel it, and just letting people know. There are a ton of different artists here on YouTube, so feel free, check them out. I'm glad to have my channel amongst a multitude of really talented individuals who are just putting it out there, letting everyone see. I look at it, it inspires me. And so the thing is that if it inspires me, I really, really hope that it inspires you. So with that said, this is the end of the show and tell.